What is up, guys? I've got so much to go over in this video, so make sure you listen to it in its entirety. That being said, the Green Bay Packers just go out and they sign a veteran running back. Who is he, and is he going to have an impact for them this season? We'll talk about that. I also want to talk about the fact that the Packers have only played one time in the last 23 days. That being said, they've had plenty of time to shore up any mistakes, to focus on the positive and the negative. So we'll get into all of that. But before I do, guys, take a second to subscribe. Okay. So that being said, who did the Green Bay Packers go out and sign? They sign veteran running back James Robinson. Okay. So it's not like, oh my gosh, man, this is this huge splash of a free agent signing. But I really do like that. And here is the reason why. Okay. So if you remember James Robinson, he ran for Illinois State. He had a lot of success in college, but he was an undrafted free agent. The reason why is because he actually ran a slow combine. I think ran like a 4.6 or something like that. That being said, Jacksonville Jaguars sign him. He ends up breaking an NFL record for most scrimmage yards of any undrafted rookie. Very impressive, right? So that being said, this dude has proved that he can carry the load if need be. Okay, so he chased that up with like an 800-yard year, and then they trade him to the Jets, and then he posts like a 500-yard year. But again, he's proved that he can, if called upon, go out and win you some games. Okay, so we need that because Aaron Jones, he's been sorely missed. Okay, so yes, he is expected to come back and return versus the Denver Broncos, which is going to be so welcomed. And I've actually read that they're only planning on running him like 15 times, which irritates me. That being said, if that's the case, we're going to need somebody like a James Robinson out there because we know that A.J. Dillon is not that guy. A.J. Dillon is going to be your third down back when you need a yard or two. He can carry four guys on his back to go get you those scrimmage yards. But you need somebody with shifty hips like a James Robinson or an Aaron Jones. So I think this is a really good signing. I think it does have a good and positive impact for them. Okay. So coming off the bye week, media they've interviewed some coordinators of the Packers, and Adam Stenavich, their offensive coordinator, he was interviewed, and what did he have to say? So one of the quotes he said about Luke Musgrave, and he called him a playmaker. He said that the Packers need to find a way to get him more involved in the passing game. For me, I loved hearing that. I absolutely loved hearing that because that gives me some optimism of like they notice like, okay, we've got some good talent in Luke Musgrave. We got some speed there, but I also really wanted to hear that same thing for Jayden Reed. Jayden Reed and Luke Musgrave, they were really involved early on in the first couple of games, and they had a lot of success. And that could have been in part to Aaron Jones being there that first game, to where the defense isn't, they're keying in on Aaron Jones, and it opens up a little bit more in the pass game. So I'm really excited to see what happens this coming week for the Denver Broncos. And do they utilize him more? I really hope so, because I really hope they do the same thing with Jayden Reed. Okay, so Jayden Reed, he was targeted like the first game, he was targeted 5 times, then 8 times, then 7 times, then 5 times, and then twice this last game. Okay, they need to get him involved. Okay. Luke Musgrave, same thing. I know he's young. I know he's going to make mistakes, but you need to get somebody like that. You need to get talented speed guys the ball. They did the same thing with Christian Watson this past week when he came back, but you can't just put it all on Christian Watson's shoulders because Romeo Doubs is certainly good. So I really hope that they've looked at their whole team and they're going to improve on getting everybody else involved. I thought that was very optimistic. And unfortunately, you go on and you listen to Joe Barry and what he has to say. And to me, it's the same fluff. He just is pretty much, hey, we need to do better. We need to be more consistent. Eric Stokes, when he comes back, it never hurts to have another. He's saying stuff that just irritates me because I'm like, dude, okay, so what are you going to do different? How are you going to practically implement things? You can't just say, hey, we're going to get better. Hey, we're going to do something different. What are you going to do different? What are you going to do that's better? At least the OC, Adam Stenavich, said, hey, listen, we need to get Luke Musgrave more involved. And I'm really hoping that means also Jayden Reed, because Both those guys need to have the ball in their hand because they proved that they are playmakers. Go Packers.